Games. This is Andrew, and we are back to continue our Children of Morta campaign. Alright, so last time we opened up the workshop, where we can spend our coins, Morve, I think they called it. Looks like there's another feature, Book of Rhea, that's not unlocked yet, as well as all of these some of these other attributes that aren't unlocked, and we're not sure what will unlock them. We talked to Grandmama last time, and looks like someone else had something to say here.
When light faded from the sky and most were fast asleep, Mary would write about her family, immortalizing them for future generations.
Alright. So, Mary would write. I'm not sure who Mary is. Let's go. No, that's wrong. Let's go to the library. Bergson's. Was the daughter of a farmer from the north. When their village was raided by goblins, she was captured and subsequently rescued and brought to Barharut by John Bergson. They lost their hearts to each other in short order and got married. So it is John's wife, or the mom. I do wish they had organized this as like a family tree. I understand where they didn't have the space for that and such, but it just would have been interesting to see that. Alright, so let's go back to chapter select. We'll go down here. We're still working through the Caldepo caves. So we'll confirm. I want to keep playing with John, I think, because I understand his skill set right now. The Bergsons can use mysterious eggs that they find in the lands of Morta to reset their abilities and rebuild their skill tree. Each reset will consume the mysterious egg. Okay, so that's interesting. I do have... Last time we got a skill point for John that we didn't spend. It will take 2 skill points to upgrade Heaven's Strike. So I don't know that I want to do that. We could spend 1 that adds block damage. So Shield of Thorns, melee attackers take damage when blocked by John's shield. And then of course upgrading John doesn't do anything. That's just the skill tree that's here. I don't know that either one of these are going to be beneficial, so we'll just hang off on that for now. We will at some point grind up Linda and some of the other characters and kind of figure out when we've got more who we like, what works for us. Right now I'm just going to stick with John. And we're going to go back in. And fight a bunch of spiders and bats and other stuff that... yeah, the silk caverns that just didn't like us. So, and then last time we mentioned, and so we'll see here, I don't know if these maps, these dungeons are procedurally generated, or if they're set. So far it looks like the same layout we saw last time, but that's just one. Okay, we'll pick up all this gold, get some health, some last time. Down this direction, just we got another skill point. Okay, we might go spin that. Right now to upgrade our Heaven Strike. Okay. Oh, we did, let's not forget, last time get from Uncle Ben, our health upgraded. So it looks like the layout's different to me. I don't remember it going off in this direction here. Not sure what that thing was. It definitely didn't like being hit. And then it looks like it regenerated and dealt us some damage again, so that's not fun. This is that weird skull on the ground. And there's another weird skull on the ground. And maybe it pulls everything in towards it. So if I stand in the circle, yeah, I get sucked in towards it. So that's interesting. Okay, nothing around this way. So we'll hit this switch. And go off in this direction. So the one thing we did see, to open a treasure chest, from Ben's workshop, is that we can upgrade our attack strength. I don't know how much upgrade it's going to be, what a difference it'll make, but it will help. That's going to be one of my priorities. I mean, everything upgrades going to be good. Getting more health. What do we got here? Cursed Potion of Life. Increased maximum health, the expense of decreased primary. I'm going to grab it so we get the codex entry. Charms are magical objects found in the land of Morta. Each one of them has a special effect that can be activated by pressing R. They are consumed after being activated. You can only carry... Okay. So, I don't know if when we activate it, if it gives me extra health. So it's like a health potion. But then we'll decrease my... Okay, that thing is a troublemaker. We want to stay away from those. Anything up here? Okay.
Pilgrims, once lost in cavern mazes, are now trapped. Their poor families forever looking forward to a return that will never happen.
So the Blue Gate last time took us to the mini-game thing where we had to choose the right order. This time it looks like this might be
object of the divine.
To the exit. So we're not going to skip this thing like we did last time. This is Electrocalypse. I don't know how to say that. That we've seen before. It was fun. So we'll take that. I'm going to press the R and see what happens. So it got used. I don't know if there's a timer on it. And or what's happening. I want to try and explore the rest of this part. You could make the argument that we went to a level quickly and trying to get to the end would be in our best interest. I want to look at the map here. Okay, so we learned about charms. Good. Yeah, we still have some area up here. Oh, cool. A little legend. Okay, that was not the finish room, which we had last time, that we could teleport to. So we're going to kind of backtrack a little bit. Oh, watch out for spikes. Those things are evil. So, the one nice thing I will say is we've learned a lot in this run here. We saw that new... Come on. Let's talk about that directional challenge. Don't kill me. We saw that purple stump thing that, if we hit it, sends out some kind of electroblast of death. That we took a lot of damage from a couple of those because we didn't know. And we were saying, hey, what does this do? Like a dummy. So, okay. It looks like I've explored everything now. So we're just going to go down towards the end and do this. So this is definitely a different layout than last time. So that's good to know. It is procedural in the layout, which makes it interesting. Pros and cons to it. Keeps it from getting boring. Could have bad layouts sometimes. Versus just kind of knowing the layout and running through the levels real quick on, a 4th, 5th time through. Hopefully we won't need that many times to get through it, but I don't know how much grinding is going to matter that we're going back through levels we've beat. But it will make the grinding more interesting, less mundane. Alright, so our goal here is to get through Silk Caverns.
The halls of Aneadaya, so mesmerizing in their magnificence, were to be found at the end of a long road. And a hero never knows what is awaiting them at the end of a road. Moving is more important than reaching.
Okay, and my daughter, Julia, was that her name? Was here and then ran off, of course, and I really would like her to stay because she's good at shooting things that I'm good at dying to. But such is life, I guess. Children grow up and run away. So it looks like this thing is spawning babies. Yeah. So that's fun. Okay, but we killed it. Getting some gold. And ultimately, I guess, if we get... Morv is what it's called. If we continue to get enough to upgrade, then we're making progress each round. We gain some life. That sanitize, as I said before, kind of the combo effect is interesting. Okay, what's in here?
In front of the hero, an object of divine energies.
Ooh, okay, so again, if it's one I don't have, I'm gonna pick it up to get the entry regardless. However, oh, it's not, it's a grace, so we get to have it. And since I've spent a lot of time nearly dead, its bonus could be beneficial for us. So, trying to kind of just explore the area we're in, open new doors, and do things. All right. This thing has spikes around it. We can see again, we've learned to kind of monitor the area right around us. And then, if we can get through the immediate battle, we do reset to a chunk of health that looks like right now it's at 30 with our increased health. So that helps and saves us and makes it so I don't have to die all the time, which will be nice because all these spiders want to kill me. And it is refreshing to kill some things and still be kind of alive. Okay.
How can this be? Is he lost? Muttered Margaret under her breath. Lost in the study of the walls and oblivious to her surroundings.
So, my mom, or John's mom, Margaret, must be a real badass because she's already here, way ahead of us. So the question is, do we want to kind of advance or go back and open that door we missed? We're going to risk it. We're going to try and go back and see what was through that door. There was a chest we never opened that we know about. Pick up a little bit more golden things as we go. Maybe get some more skills. And see what becomes of all of it. So. Regret our decision, which we do. Yeah. That's all right, though. I think that's how this is going to go. It looks like even if we had gone through there, we had a boss fight at the end of the kind of next level, whatever that would have been. So, and we would have died there, I'm sure. So, no regrets. As we keep doing
Kevin's need to help all began when his elder brother Mark left the house. His brother was strong, making any near him feel safe. But he left Kevin. Though Uncle Ben knew what his nephew needed, a focal point for his aspirations.
So like I was saying, when we go through these and get things, we may open up more parts of the house, at least narrative elements and things. I don't know when new areas like the workshop will open, if we have to get through a level, if it's, you know, damage triggered or what the count is, and it, you know, could be all sorts of things for different ones. Yeah, I don't. That tells me that. Let's read some of these.
A mother away from her child would cause worry even in the best of times. This was far from the best of times. It had been more than a year since Mark, Harry's eldest son, had gone to live in the monastery deep in the forest. The same forest was now the source of such worrying news.
So, I love these little narrative elements. They're adding a lot to it as we go. Margaret keeps talking about somebody being lost. Is that Mark? His absence is affecting his younger brother, his mom. Like, I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
Uncle Ben pondered over a map he received from a refugee. The Silk Caverns were a twisted maze of dead ends and venomous nests. But somewhere along the right path, a Neadia, spirit of the Caldipo Caves, rested.
Okay, and so that just gives us, I guess, more motivation of what we're trying to find. So we found a couple of more things. Let's go. We've got some gold. I know, it's Morve, but I like to call it gold. We're not sure why these ones are locked yet. They may unlock when we get new family members, or something. The question here is, what do we want to spend on? And I want to get more attack. Yes. And I think I'm going to use all of it on that. So my attack was 12. In the last run, right? Now we're up to 15. So, the price does climb pretty quick, which is reasonable and understandable. Will help to kind of keep us balanced, I guess, because you might as well spend some of your money rather than hoard it just to be, another 1.5 in attack. If we can, if you're 5 points behind in speed already, I think it makes sense to kind of keep your balanced characters, but we'll see as we go. Alright, so let's go back in Caldipo Caves. And do it again. Alright, so John has 3 skill. Let's spend those this time. So we're gonna upgrade Heaven's Strike so it does more damage. And looks like we're almost able to do this next one. So when we get another skill, I think if we open up the thorns, then that'll be enough to open up our next pathway. Don't quote me on that. No guarantees. So let's start again. We've got a little bit more power in our attack. So hopefully some of those slimes, baby spiders, hits, where only one hit was like 80-90% of the health. Maybe those will go in one hit now, and we can take a little bit less damage, because we can dispatch some of the smaller enemies a little quicker. Looking at some of these numbers, I don't know that I'm seeing a huge difference, given that we were doing 11, 12, 13 last time. And I didn't pay enough to individual enemies to know. But I would say we're probably doing an extra point to each enemy that I feel like we're hitting a little bit stronger. I'm not going to say it's incredibly noticeable, but I'm not going to say it's nothing. I think getting that attack up a couple of points helps. We haven't seen any of the real babies that I was thinking we could dispatch in one hit now. So I really don't know how much of an impact that upgrade had. So I have no idea.
A table fit for the gods, but a game made for mortals. A hand was to be placed upon the pedestal, and their best was to be given.
Okay, I have no idea. Some kind of Pong that we're playing here. That I'm controlling the paddle on the left here. I have no idea what the objective is, because I'm not seeing, well, obviously not let it hit my side. Okay, so it is just hit this thing enough times so that it dies. So these kind of mini-game things have been interesting. The variety and things add some interesting flavor. Every 25 combo kills grants you a gemstone. So that's awesome. I've yet to get up to 25 combos. But who knows? Maybe we're a little bit stronger and we can do that now. Get to 25 combos. Let's look at our map. I wonder if yeah, it just brings up the map automatically. Okay, so again, we're getting a little better as we go. Not nearly as dead as we were last time. Of course, we still got a ways to go. What is this? Oh, a gemstone. Get some more morph. So, we're definitely dispatching enemies. How much is our characters are getting incredibly stronger versus getting a little bit better of the kind of required skill? Who knows? We'll say a nice combination of each. Just kind of making sure we hit all the corners. So this first level has never been... There's a health potion. Okay. Has never been too complicated. I don't know if, as we keep going, if levels will get a little mazier and harder. There's been kind of one, maybe two forks in these first little levels. Which is nice, there's not too much backtracking. But I have no idea how that's going to progress as we go. Levels are going to get a little more convoluted, a little mazy. Oh, okay, so those guys bring you in. That one had spikes. Okay. Got to be near the end here. Okay, so that was the place that if we hit and hold T, it takes us back to this room. Yeah, okay. So we saw last time, not every level ends up with the teleport place. Increased movement speed when below 25% health. Okay. So it looks like we can have multiple graces of these. So that's interesting. Again, they're different each kind of run through, which is very typical of a roguelike. So sometimes you get some good combinations, they work together, you are doing massive damage or really having some amazing things. Sometimes not so much. So, which is, I think, the appeal of the roguelite is you get to experiment with different combos as opposed to a game that early on kind of find the combination of things that you like and you never change, you never experiment with anything else. Ugh. Okay, I died to a strong. Those yellow guys, remember, are these strong monsters. Alright, so let's see what we get.
A set of daggers made just for him. They would be his guide to finding himself, his focal point. The boy tested them. They felt good. Not too heavy, not too light. Like an extension of himself. Uncle Ben suggested a few practice swings outside. The daggers sliced the air, guided with an easy grace. His nephew was clearly a natural with the blades and would be ready to join his father and sister in no time. But the boy's mother had words on that subject. 2 of her children were already risking their lives, and she would not have her precious little boy out there as well. Regretfully, he took the daggers away. Who was he to argue with a mother when it involved her child? Handing over the daggers was like abandoning a part of himself. He was meant for them, meant to be out there fighting for what was right. He just needed to convince them.
Oh wow, so okay. Thought we were going to get a new character, but then Mom stepped in and said, no, as mothers can do. So that's interesting. I don't know how much of that story we're going to advance through before we even get through this first level, because it seems like every time there's a new little bit of that, and I don't know if at a certain point we're going to just have run out of story before we've gotten anywhere in the game. Alright, so let's see what we have to say here.
Nothing could quite match the calm that Linda felt when playing her violin. Its sublime sound, the perfect counter to the nerve-wracking uncertainty and chaos.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna spend maybe. We don't have enough to spend on any of these things, so we won't spend anything. So we'll stop there for today. Thanks for joining us. Next time we'll see if we can actually get through those caves, and what else the story has for us. Please check into our next episode, like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to see anything in particular. You have any suggestions for something else we should try. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day.